Shalom, shalom, all praise, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Lakah, Kadash, and Abohana to the elder and the apostles of Great Mason who do well, a peace, a blessing, and salvation to you, Akiam, who are pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven, being on the forefront of this spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise, here on yes again, as in the days of old. So this is a book, First Maccabees 2:52. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? So in today's lesson we are going to talk about big faith. We always talk about the big faith, and a lot of brothers have done lessons going to that, because that's what you will eventually need, especially in the time we are approaching, a time of famine, a time of the sword, more pestilence we have never seen before, in which it will make the C-19 look like a walk in the park, so much more being delivered from the lake of fire. That we need big faith, because not everybody have faith. And again, faith is a gift, man. But it starts like a mustard seed and grow into a big and a tall tree. You can take faith as a whole, going to us waking up and finding who we are. It started by a single man, then it spread to the four corners of the earth. That's what really the face of the mustard seed was going to. But you can explain faith on an individual level. The same thing, use the same example. You see, as a mustard seed again. You see, when you plant a mustard seed here in Tanzania, and you plant a mustard seed over there in America or whatever, even over here in Tanzania, in different places, that tree which will come out of that, you ain't gonna be the same. It depends on how you take care of it, the environment, if it is conducive. You see, it's the same thing. And when the tree have already grown, it is easy to talk. This is a big tree. The same thing with the face, man. It is easy to talk. This brother have face, man. But today I'm going to talk about the other side of this big face. See, there are certain obstacles you need to overcome in order for you to achieve a highest level of faith. See, you need to catch pure hell, man. See, and this we call it practical faith. You have faith and a practical faith. When you first heard that you are an Israelite, you believed that was faith. But as you continued being this truth, you were taught many breakdown, many scriptures, the history of our forefathers, many great things and miracles they did. Like our forefathers survived through famine. Our forefathers survived the different peril situation. And you believed. That's one thing. The other thing is the practicality of it. For example, when you read about was not Abraham found faithful in temptation? You see, that sounds good. Abraham was a man of faith, of great faith. But when First Maccabees 2:52 really hit in real life, whether you are supposed to stand as your forefather Abraham, you are faced with something. That's what we call practical faith. The same thing is, I have always been meditating, not laser meditating. I have experienced it. You can be out and about teaching or converting men and telling men to repent, and go into a different breakdown. See, you might understand yours a breakdown in a sort of way. You can break scripture down, and when people listen to you, you sound like an angel. See, but it is a different story when it's all the scripture, or that scripture you're reading when it hit in real life. That's a different story. We always be talking about Edomite hate, perpetual hatred against Jacob. But if you really go through that, you meet an Edomite in real life when he put you through pure hell, man. That scripture will hit differently, man. That's what we call practical faith. So reaching into that upper level of faith, or the upper echelon, or the aristocracy of faith, you see, that's that top layer of faith. And the highest level of faith is when you get spiritual power and ultimately get delivered. That's the highest level of faith. You see? That's the highest level of faith. You see, it requires many up and down. That's why the scripture tell you a just man will fall 7 times when he gets up, man. That is the practicality of faith. So it is a different story when we tell you, a brother, when famine hit, the Lord will get you through that. But when that famine really hit, it is a different story. I ain't gonna feel good. You see, so this is Titus 2 and 2. It say, that is the aged man, be sober, grave, temperate. When you are faced with a situation, you apply temperance. See, sound in faith, in charity, and in patient, man. You exercise patient. You exercise patient, man. As the book of 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, there is no temptation taken you but such as in common to men. And that's what another thing you need to remember. Sometimes when you go through the practicality of faith, you might think, hey man, this is too hard.